Hi, I'm Tim. Join me in this video as we discuss the Volantex Focke-Wulf Fw190 4-channel radio-controlled RC model airplane. Let's get to it. The Focke-Wulf Fw190 was one of the two main fighters for the Germans in World War II, complementing the Me-109 Messerschmitt. It was well liked by its pilots, it flew fine, it had its wide gear that cut down on accidents, and an innovative control rod system that prevented sloppy controls from the normal cable systems. Overall, a very, very good fighter. This is a Volantex 4-channel gyro stabilized RC model aircraft. Really a pretty nice little plane. I think it looks good. I especially like the clear canopy. They've got a little profile pilot in there. Just a nice presentation of this model. So we're going to do an unboxing here in a second. And what I want to do with these ready to fly models, it's a good idea to take a look at the box. You can get little bits of information. This one doesn't really have too much to say. There is a 6-axis gyro system, which we'll discuss in more detail as we power it up. And it's a 1-key aerobatic switch where you push a button to do some stunts. I don't mess around with that. It's a durable foam material. What is of note, it doesn't say Focke-Wulf 190 anywhere on here. It just says the Legend series. And it shows, well, actually, this is a Spitfire here. The Focke-Wulf is here, and the Me-109 is there. So we'll be doing this one in here. It just doesn't say that on the box, except if you look on the side panel, there's the Fw190 located right there. So that's the box. The key thing is, we'll see here in a moment, everything is completely built. You just have to take the airplane out, charge up the battery, put 4 AA batteries in the transmitter, and you can go fly. This is the Fw190 as it comes out of the box. It's very nicely packaged. It's all built. All you have to do is click on the prop, insert the landing gear, put 4 AA batteries in the transmitter, charge up the LiPo, and you're all set to fly. Again, very nice packing job, and you can just see everything is just ready to take out of the box. Here are the components. We have the airplane. Again, just click on the prop and the landing gear. No glue required. The props. LiPo charger, the LiPo battery itself, very nice transmitter. The upper right hand corner is a switch for the gyros from expert to beginner. The instruction manual is nice, very good diagrams, good pictures, and a lot of good information for assembling and flying your model. This is a Volantex Focke-Wulf 190. It was supplied to me very nicely by the folks at Volantex, so we'll go over this a little bit here. The first thing I want to point out is gyro stabilized with a full 4 channels of control, elevators, rudder, ailerons, and the throttle through the electronic speed control. The ailerons are pretty close in, almost where flaps would normally be. The reason for that is they want to use just a single servo to move both ailerons, so that's fine. The receiver and servos for the elevator and rudder are inside. You don't see that. There's nothing that you have access to, and the battery goes inside this compartment right here. Note that all the wires have these little U-bends in the wire. This is a very handy feature. That if you want to do some minor adjustments to the control surfaces, you can just simply bend this wire with a pair of pliers and get some adjustment from the control. So that's a good thing to have. Again, the battery in here, and the prop just clicks in place. The landing gear is inserted into the wing. I think the landing gear looks pretty well. You do have the option of flying it without the landing gear if you want it to look a little bit more realistic in the air. The problem is, just be absolute certain that the motor is off and not spinning when you land. To save wear and tear on the motor, this prop does pop off if there's any stress on it. I have mixed feelings about that, because at the field it can come off at the wrong time on landings. Some comment some people in the comments says, why don't you just glue the prop on? You can certainly glue the prop on, but if you break any of the blades after it's glued on, you're sunk. There's no easy way to get the prop back on there. It doesn't have the normal screw or any bolt arrangement to keep on the keep the prop on. So that is something you're going to have to sort out on your own. But other than that, it's a nice little model. It weighs about 2.4 ounces. Center of gravity is about right with these ready-to-fly models. There's no adjustments you can do. It's in the right place, about 25% for the wing leading edge. So what I do when I power on these models, you have to plug in the plane first. Usually works best. There's a red and a black wire. Absolutely observe the polarity. It is a keyed system. You should not be able to put it in backwards, but if you ever do, that'll fry everything. Also with the gyros, it needs to be stabilized for a couple of seconds before you start using it. It can be either upside down or right side up. I think it's easier upside down because we have access to the battery. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and plug this in and wait a couple of seconds. We will turn on the transmitter. Then we have a steady light. Everything's settled down here. And what we'll do is I'll leave the battery out and we can look at the tail controls, elevator up. Not a lot of movement, but that's all you need for this model. The rudder, the tail wheel does not turn, but that's okay. And then finally the ailerons, free and in the proper direction, they're centered right up. Now notice on the throttle is a safety feature. If you move the throttle, the motor doesn't work. You have to do it all the way up, the throttle back down, you'll hear a beep, then it's armed. So we move it up. And now, when we move the throttle, and again, plenty of power from that motor with a 400 milliamp battery. The other thing I want to point out is the gyro stabilization system. You can hear the chatter, and notice when the nose is down, the elevator automatically goes up. The nose is up, it goes a little bit down. That is all part of the stabilization system for the aircraft. You see the ailerons are working as well with the bank, working to keep the model level. Excuse me, not working to keep the model level, working to keep the model stable with this in the background, just making for smooth flight. So these smaller models, which can be kind of twitchy by nature, fly in a much smoother and more controlled manner. So everything looks good. We're all set for a good day. We'll head out to the flying field to see how the model flies. We're here at the RC field, just a perfect day. There's no wind, sunny, and we'll go ahead and give this Focke-Wulf a test flight. So wish me luck. Again, it's a very good looking model, the FW190. Here it is on the grass. Here is a look at the airplane, just various views. You'll see in the next picture it had a little bit of trouble fitting in the battery. You just have to very carefully put it in by its side, but I'll talk about that later. For the test flights, I just put some taper on there to hold everything in place. This is the No Kidding test flight. Very nice hand launch from Ron. Plenty of power, and it climbs out. So with any first flight, we try to get 2 mistakes high. It's a small model, so you can't go too far away. I'm looking at power to climb or to turn. Everything is working just fine, and it is a full 4-channel model, so we have rudder and ailerons for the turn. As we get more comfortable with it, we're bringing it a little bit lower. It is a World War II fighter, so keep your speed up. This is the second flight by Ron. I'm giving the hand launch. You can see just a little push, and the plane just flies out from that. Very nice flying airplane. And again, another landing in the grass. The landing gear is quite functional. Here Ron is with a takeoff from the ground with a smooth runway. Just no problem whatsoever. Circle around and conclude with a very nice landing. Okay, we both just finished flying the Focke-Wulf, and I have to say it flies absolutely fine. Look at Ron's opinions here in a moment, but the gyros truly make a difference. Plenty of power. You saw it did the ground takeoff afterwards. The only trouble we had was, if you look at the battery here, we just had a very hard time fitting in the battery. Looking at it now, I think there's a little bit more room on the side for the connectors and all that, but you're just going to have to, when the plane comes, the battery is in here, and looking at it, I think it will fit in here. You're just going to have to pay attention to where that battery is on the compartment. But other than that, the plane flies fine. The other thing I want to point out is you do have your 3 positions on the gyros here, and it's clearly labeled in the front, expert all the way back, middle beginner. We flew the beginner mode. If you're all the way back in that toggle switch, there's no gyros at all. Ron, your thoughts on this?
It actually flew much nicer than I was expecting. It flew fine. The only issue that I had is it did have the gyros on, and so the turns were kind of gentle, kind of wide. You couldn't turn sharply.
I agree.
The other thing I noticed was to slow down for landing, you've almost got to force it to slow down. It wants to nip along through the air, so landing tends to be a little bit hard.
But look at now, the battery seems to be in a much better position there, so you just experiment with place it in the battery and it should fit in just fine. Overall, good airplane.